Bose, Subhas Chandra, 1897–1945, Indian political leader, was born on 23 January 1897 in Cuttack, Orissa, the ninth child and sixth son of Janaki Nath Bose, 1860–1934, a lawyer and government pleader, and his wife, Prabhabati, née Day, 1869–1944. They were high-caste Hindu Bengalis of the Kayastha caste. His eldest brothers, Satish and Sarat, were barristers, and Sarat was an important political leader as well. Another brother, Sunil, was a leading medical doctor in Calcutta. Bose was educated at the Protestant European School and Raven Shaw Collegiate School, Cuttack, and then at the Presidency College, Calcutta, one of the foremost colleges of India. In 1915 he was expelled from the Presidency College for complicity in the beating of Professor Oaten, a college instructor, whom many students felt had maligned Indians. After a year Bose was admitted to the Scottish Church College, another leading college, and graduated with the highest honours in philosophy in 1919. At the urging of his father he went to England, studied at Cambridge University as a non-collegiate student, and prepared for the Indian Civil Service examination. To the surprise of many he passed the 1920 examination in the fourth position, was appointed, but then resigned to join the Indian national movement headed by M. K. Gandhi nationally and C. R. Das in Bengal. Bose was personally friendly with some British people, but he hated the British presence in India passionately, and his central concern through his adult life was to terminate the Raj. Bose returned to Calcutta, joined the Indian National Congress, and, as a favoured lieutenant of Das, was chosen Chief Executive Officer of the Calcutta Corporation in 1924. He worked for Hindu-Muslim amity and improvement of civic life, but after a few months was jailed for involvement with acts of violence against the British Raj. No formal charges were made and no trial took place, but Bose served about 3 years in jail, 2 of them under unpleasant circumstances in Mandalay, Burma. Released for health reasons in 1927, and with Das now dead, Bose quickly rose to the leadership of the Bengal Provincial Congress. In 1928 he became a General Secretary of the Indian National Congress, helped to prepare the Nehru Report on Indian Self-Rule, and became a widely popular leader of the younger leftists in national politics. He had strong support from urban workers, middle-class nationalists in Calcutta and towns through the countryside, women, and students. Bose pressed Gandhi to move more quickly and forcefully for complete independence. He began to call himself a socialist and advocated a socialist program for the reconstruction of India once independence was gained. As commander of the Congress volunteers at the 1928 Congress session, he drilled young Indians to help control the meeting. Some of these Indians later formed an underground revolutionary group, the Bengal Volunteers. Bose's ties to this group, which carried out acts of violence, together with his mass following as a Congress leader, made him a marked man to officials of the Raj. His connection to such revolutionaries also made him untrustworthy to Gandhi, a principled nonviolent activist. Bose was in and out of jail from 1930 to 1933 and was even elected mayor of Calcutta in 1930 while imprisoned. He spent a good deal of the period 1933 to 1937 in Europe recovering his health. While in Europe he wrote The Indian Struggle, 1935, an account of Indian politics from 1920 to 1934, and An Indian Pilgrim, a brief, insightful autobiography, eventually published in 1965. Based in Vienna, he also did propaganda work for Indian nationalism and visited many European countries, including Italy and Ireland, where he was warmly welcomed. About 1934 he met an Austrian woman, Emily Schenkel, 1910–1996, who became his secretary. In December 1937, according to Miss Schenkel, they married secretly at Badgastein. In 1938, with Gandhi's blessing but not complete confidence, Bose became president of the Indian National Congress. He took the initiative in forming the planning committee of the Congress. The next year he decided to run again, against Gandhi's wishes. With the support of the left and strong support in some provinces outside his native Bengal, he defeated Gandhi's candidate, P. Sitaramaiah, but then felt compelled to resign his presidency after a controversy about the selection of the Working Committee, the Congress executive. Bose formed the Forward Bloc, a pressure group within the Congress working for immediate direct action against the Raj. Imprisoned again in 1940, Bose fasted, and was released in December. With the Second World War underway, and now convinced that the British would never leave India peacefully, he determined to flee the country and work with some foreign power hostile to the British. He hoped to recruit and train a military unit which would combine with forces within India to drive the British out by violent means. On 17 January 1941 he slipped out of his Calcutta house, reached the Indian frontier, and walked into Afghanistan. Receiving Italian, German, and Russian help, he travelled as Orlando Matsuota to Berlin, where he set up the Free India Centre, a propaganda operation, and the Indian Legion, a small fighting force recruited from Indian prisoners taken in North Africa. Unhappy in Europe, Bose was finally allowed by Hitler to leave for Southeast Asia in February 1943. He was forced to leave behind in Vienna his wife and his daughter, Anita, born in 1942. Traveling by German and Japanese submarines, and then by air, Bose reached Tokyo in spring 1943. He courted and impressed Prime Minister Tojo, who supported his efforts to reconstitute the Indian National Army, INA, and to set up the Provisional Government of Azad Hind, or Free India. Bose's army was constituted mainly from Indian soldiers taken prisoner at Singapore, and was supported by the Free India League, a nationalist organization backed by the Indian community of Southeast Asia. Beloved by his followers, Bose was called Netaji, or revered leader. He also recruited a regiment of women headed by Lakshmi Swaminathan, who were trained to fight but never entered combat. Bose worked diligently for communal harmony between Hindus, Muslims, and Sikhs within his army, and continued to make the broadcasts to India that he had begun in Germany. In an endeavour to fulfill his slogan of, Kalo Delhi, or, Onto Delhi, Bose induced the Japanese to undertake an invasion of eastern India in 1944. Their forces briefly entered India, but this effort ended in a catastrophic defeat for the Japanese and the INA. Bose fled and was mortally burned in a plane crash in Taiwan on 17 August 1945. He died in a Japanese military hospital nearby, was cremated the following day, and his ashes were delivered by a Japanese officer to Tokyo. There they were turned over to Indian nationalists, who placed them in a Buddhist temple, where they remained, as no subsequent government of India was willing to receive them back into India because of potential controversy about how he died. Many followers of Bose in India and Southeast Asia believed that he did not die in the air crash, but escaped, possibly to Soviet territory. For several decades the myth of his imminent return was spread among Indians who hoped that he would emerge to help India combat its many problems by his forceful leadership. He was remembered for his devotion to his country by most Indians, some of whom, like Gandhi, disagreed with his choice of means to reach the goal of independence. Bose was one of those Indian nationalists who believed that violence in a noble cause would not corrupt the end sought. Dear viewers, we have tried our best to provide you an informative video. Please comment that how did you find this video, because your opinion and comments are very important to us. If you like the video, please like and subscribe our channel so that you may be updated for our every informative video. Take care of your good self.